So right after the killing of Minneapolis resident Renee Good, images of the ICE agent involved surfaced and spread like wildfire across social media. Problem is, the images were AI generated and fake, and this is part of the growing problem of AI generated misinformation, confusing and inflaming tensions in an already confused and inflamed country. And joining us now is James Warren, executive editor of NewsGuard, an organization that does its best to help citizens differentiate between fake and real news, which is a very difficult task these days. Jim, thanks for being here.
Sure.
Tell us, what is the average American consumer to do with all of these fake videos and images so readily available?
It's close to impossible. Even trained reporters like us may take, hours to figure out that something's a fake. It's getting more and more sophisticated. I did a piece for the Tribune last week and was talking to my old colleague Pete Souza, who was the White House photographer, only guy in history for two presidents, President Reagan and President Obama. And he said it's gotten to the point now that he has a difficult time. You were talking to the professor from the U of C just before about what's going on in Iran, and in recent days, millions and millions of folks have seen totally fake videos from both pro-regime folks and anti-Iranian regime folks. The anti-Iranian regime folks have had videos of seemingly valiant female protesters smashing the windows of cars of the military. There have been some conservative pro-Trump anti-regime folks who've concocted videos of protesters changing street signs in Tehran and putting up streets that say Trump, have Trump's name on it. So they're saying they so love America, they're now changing the street signs to have Trump stuff. And then on the other side, you have the claim of giant pro-regime demonstrations taking place against those same protesters. And we found they've all been fake. Millions and millions of folks all over the world have seen them. And for your average person, it's really, really difficult.
The average person, scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, thinking it's all the same. Who are the biggest culprits here? Are there a select few folks that take these fake images or images that are out of context to try and create propaganda or misinformation?
It ranges from folks who just want to have fun and create a phony video, maybe a benign video of a child knocking on a door and asking to be let in and saying he wants his snack. It can go from that to Vladimir Putin turning out fake videos, his people turning out fake videos, attacking our company, NewsGuard, and having video of me and superimposed on my image and my talking are totally anti-Semitic comments about, of all people, the German chancellor, as part of some bizarre conspiracy theory of us being in league with some weird forces. So it goes from the benign to the political, domestic politics. You want to embarrass somebody you're running against in a race, to things that are really gotten very, very malicious and have potential international consequence.
And speaking of malicious and that has consequences, you put up an example on the NewsGuard website of the moments after the Renee Good shooting. And let's take a look at some of those images. There were some clearly AI-generated photos of the, well, here's some video that's clearly AI-generated, and then there were some photos of the ICE agent who shot Renee Good and photos of his face. There we go. That's not really him. That's not a real person, is it?
No, it's not. And there are tricks of the trade that you can figure things out. For instance, Sora, S-O-R-A, is a new device created by OpenAI, which we more familiarly know as ChatGPT.
Right.
And Sora has put a watermark of basically a cartoonish cloud, in the same way that the Treasury Department puts watermarks on our bills to try to prevent counterfeiting. So Sora puts these on to tell you, well, this is fake, this is not real.
But those don't have that, do they?
But increasingly, bad actors are able to sort of hide those watermarks. And your regular person wouldn't know what I just told you is true to begin with about watermarks.
Right.
So it's difficult.
So this can be very dangerous. Someone that's not a real person, and people are very angry, obviously, at that. Let's take a look at another one, Maduro, the capture of Nicolas Maduro. All kinds of fake videos went out about this to but that supposedly showed the capture. That wasn't real, but there you go. So these are fake and out of context here.
Yeah, totally. There's one which has him in pajamas, which was meant to be, quite demeaning. I think that might be the one. And then you've got 2 rows of windows there as if that was a regular airplane. He was not on a regular airplane initially. He was on a helicopter that went to an aircraft carrier. So there are lots of things that a reporter could have figured out early, but for the average person, I'm not sure. And even someone, for instance, wanting to create a fake newscast with parachutes, the regular viewer might not be able to tell.
How do we know that this is real right now? I promise you, everybody, this is real.
Well, one of the things is we're in a professional studio, professional mics,
right.
And the audio, you're not going to be hearing any kind of weird reverberation as the two of us talk. With AI, you may often. But how many people know that?
I didn't know that. I mean, and I think you did some experiments concocting some fake newscasts. So sounds like the solution here has to be a policy one, because the regular consumer is not going to be able, okay, so here's some more fakes. This is a fake newscast that you cooked up. So not a real news anchor there. It's hard to tell.
Right. And if you listen, the voice would be a little bit off, would be going too fast. If you look really, really closely at things like skin tone, if you look at the background of the image, something may be off. But again, that would entail spending a long time staring at that image.
All right, so 30 seconds here. Policy. What needs to happen on the policy front?
I'm not sure that this is going to be addressed by policy. You could have some new rules of the road when it comes to the major platforms like Meta, who are, one can't underscore enough how guilty they are in all of this, of allowing their platforms
They don't care
to
as
be
long
used.
as long as it helps make them money and keeps people on
Right, they don't
their
care.
platform.
So I'm not sure you can legislate their the inability that they might have to post phony videos. It's just not going to happen.
All right, Jim Warren, great work. NewsGuard, we'll have to have you back and continue to go through this. Thank you for spending your time with us here at this real newscast. Everything here is natural and real. Have a great evening, everybody, and go Bears.